Dear soul, before the sun lifts her golden arms over the horizon, there is someone who already woke up thinking of you. Yes, you. Even if you don't know their name yet. Even if they are still a few lifetimes away from meeting your eyes. Your soulmate, the one whose soul has touched yours long before this life began. They rise with something sacred on their mind. You, not the version of you in a photograph, not the version of you shaped by time and wounds, but the version they see with the eyes of spirit, the one that glows even in silence, the one who remembers how to love even when afraid. They wake slowly, not to alarms but to light. The first light that spills through the window like a whispered promise that today, again, love is possible. They stretch their arms toward the ceiling, not in a hurry, but in reverence. Their breath is long, like prayer. Their body moves gently, as if remembering the softness of holding you in a dream. You see, your soulmate has a ritual, not one taught by a book or a trend, but one carved by longing. A ritual built by years of waiting, years of growing, years of learning how not to settle for anything less than true. They sit at the edge of their bed, bare feet touching the cold floor, heart wide open to what the day may bring. They whisper, something you cannot hear, but if you listened carefully enough, if your soul leaned in just right, you would feel it flutter in your own chest. It sounds like this. Let me be ready. Let me stay open. Let me recognize them when they come. They don't know it yet, but every time they say this, a ripple moves through the universe. A signal sent to you, across time, landing somewhere in your own quiet moments. That sudden peace for no reason. That pause before the next breath. That stillness that feels like being held. They rise and walk into their morning as if walking through sacred ground. Because in a way, they are. Each morning is a small rehearsal for the day you'll finally share. Every cup of tea, every journal line, every sunbeam caught in their hair, it all carries your name. Even if they don't know how to say it yet, they step into the kitchen. Their hands know the rhythm, a favorite mug, the exact way they stir honey into warm water. And while they wait, they look out the window, not to escape, but to remember. To remember the feeling of holding someone who fits. To imagine the sound of your laughter spilling into their morning. And sometimes, they do more than imagine. They write to you. Yes, before you've met, they write you letters. Some are tucked into journals, some never written down, only whispered to the steam rising from their drink. Wherever you are, I hope you're warm today. I hope your heart feels light. I hope you remember you are not alone. You don't hear them with your ears, but your soul knows. It softens at the exact moment they think of you. It quiets. It listens. Sometimes they light a candle. Not because they need light, but because they want to honor something. That something is you. You, the one who will walk beside them. You, the one who will understand them in the space between words. You, who makes them believe this life is more than random days strung together. It is a story, a homecoming, a return. They play soft music, not to fill the silence, but to dance with it. Each note becomes a prayer, each lyric a wish for your joy. If you close your eyes now, you might hear it. You might feel your shoulders drop, your breath deepen, your heart say, yes, I am being loved even now. You see, love doesn't begin with the first hello. It begins here, in these mornings when they choose patience over fear, when they choose hope over doubt, when they keep believing in the feeling they've never fully known, but somehow always trusted. This is their ritual. Not perfect, not flashy, but honest, sacred in its slowness, powerful in its devotion. It is not for anyone else to see, but the universe notices. So does your spirit. And every time they follow it, every time they say your name without knowing it, every time they make space for the idea of you, the distance between you shrinks. The veil thins, the meeting draws closer, and you You start to rise differently too. You start to feel less alone in your mornings. Because somewhere, across oceans or lifetimes or cities or skies, someone is rising with you in their heart. And that changes everything. Asterisk, they don't check their phone first. Not out of discipline or habit, but because they want the first feeling of the day to be something real. Not notifications, not noise, but presence, stillness, that deep breath before the world wakes. Sometimes they just sit in the quiet, not trying to fix anything, not trying to be better, just being. And in that being, there is room for you. Hold their mug with both hands. It's warm, simple, familiar. And while they sip, they wonder, are you awake too? Are you wrapped in a blanket somewhere, also staring into the light? They don't need the answer. The wondering itself is enough. It's a way of loving you before you arrive, without pressure, without proof. Just trust. Their thoughts aren't loud. They aren't desperate. They don't ache the way they used to. Because now they understand, love doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you become it, and they're becoming it. One breath at a time, one morning at a time, one choice at a time that they choose kindness to themselves, to strangers, to silence. They move through the kitchen like it's a chapel. Each plate, each spoon, each crumb, a reminder that love isn't found in grand gestures, but in small, repeated care. Clean as they go. Not to impress, not to distract, but to keep space open. For you. Yes, they make room for you now. Before your shoes sit by the door. Before your laughter fills the hallway. Before your toothbrush finds a place next to theirs, they make space. In the way they cook for one, but still plate it like it's for two. They pour water into plants while thinking, I can't wait to show you this one. You'll love it. And when music plays, they dance. Sometimes slowly, sometimes foolishly, because they know joy must be practiced. So they'll be ready to share it. Sometimes they write, not to document their life, but to empty what's inside, to soften, to stay clear. So when they speak to you, it isn't out of old pain, but from fresh truth. They write about what scares them, what healed them, what they wish someone told them sooner. They don't hide their fears from the page, because they won't hide them from you. Not the cracks, not the mess, not the nights they almost gave up. They want to be known, not just admired. And they want to know you too, not just your beauty, but the parts you think no one could love. They're already preparing to hold those parts with care. Yes, this is love. This quiet becoming, this morning ritual, this devotion to the invisible. And you may not see them yet, but your soul recognizes this work, this invisible tending, this silent preparation, this warmth that waits without demand. And maybe that's why your mornings are changing too. Maybe that's why you're starting to wake with more calm, more hope, more softness toward yourself, because you are feeling them, even now. Across distance, across time, across everything that says, not yet. Love is arriving through ritual, through readiness, through the kind of mornings that melt the heart, even before two hands ever meet.